making people to abandon their responsibilities. So is that what you want? No, that is not good for you. So Krishna, as a spiritual master now, not as a friend, is instructing Arjuna analytically what Karma Yoga actually is and what type of Karma Yoga is preferred. So in verses 17 to 35, this is discussed Karma Yoga, performing detached work to set the example. Then verses 36 to 43, then Krishna explained the dangers of lust and anger. So this particular chapter contains 43 verses. That's how we are going to end it, verse 43. Having said that, we see that in Bhagavad Gita 2:49, Krishna said, Durena hi avaram kama buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service or buddhi yoga. So keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. So Arjuna took this instruction as Krishna is telling him to renounce abominable activities, and fighting and killing relatives is an abominable activity also. So after giving me this instruction, you are still telling me to fight. I should do buddhi yoga, and you are still pushing me back to do karma yoga. Which one you did now? Buddhi yoga is bhakti yoga, but it literally means the yoga of intelligence. So taking the meaning of buddhi as intelligence, Krishna's order will mean that Arjuna, by the use of his intelligence, should avoid all abominable activities. So Krishna has even emphasized intelligence by using the word buddhi, 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 buddhi 10 good times within the previous 30 verses or 30 to 33 verses. So we can thus easily imagine Arjuna concluding that he should renounce fighting and thus keep the abominable activity of killing his kinsmen far distant by buddhi, by intelligence, or linking his intelligence to that of the Supreme. But why then, thinks Arjuna, is Krishna still urging me to fight? Thus, Arjuna, in the first two verses of chapter 3, he asked Krishna two questions to clarify his apparently contradictory instructions. So, verse 1, can we read? Somebody should read verse 1. Arjuna Uvacha Jayasi Shet Karmanaste Man Buddhi Janadana Tat Kim Karmani Gore Mam Niyo Jayasi Kesava Mam Niyo Jayasi Kesava. Arjuna said, Oh Janadana, oh Kesava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? Purport. The Supreme Personality of God as Sri Krishna has very elaborately describes the constitution of the soul in his previous chapter, with a view to delivering his intimate friend Arjuna from the ocean of material grief. And the path of realization has been recommended, Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness. Sometimes Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be inertia, and one with just a misunderstanding often withdraws to a secluded place to become fully Krishna conscious by chanting the holy name of the Lord Krishna. Sometimes devotees, they think that they understand so much and they want to withdraw from temple. They go to forest, they go and build some hut, and they say they are chanting Hare Krishna to perfection. It's only for a short time. Only for a short time. That is an immature understanding. But without being trained in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it is not advisable to chant the holy name of Krishna in a secluded place where one may acquire only cheap adoration from the innocent public. Arjuna also thought of Krishna consciousness or Bhakti Yoga or Buddha Yoga or intelligence in spiritual advancement of knowledge as something like retirement from active life and and the practice of penance and austerity at secluded place. This was Arjun's thought. That was why he preferred it. So by doing that, he will avoid the fighting. And instead, he will go to the forest and sit down, meditate and chant and realize himself and go back, come back to God. Dodging, escaping the duties he's supposed to do. Arjuna wanted to take advantage of this Bhakti Yoga or Buddha Yoga to escape, to avoid his responsibility. And Krishna said no. Yes. But as a sincere student, he placed the question before his spiritual master. As a sincere student, he placed the matter before his master and questioned Krishna as to his best course of action. In answer, Lord Krishna elaborately explained Karma Yoga or work in Krishna consciousness in this third chapter. So that's why this third chapter is entitled Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, work in Krishna consciousness. So that is it. Verse 2. Arjuna is still speaking. Via ministry neva bakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vadanishitya yena sreyo ham apnuyam. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instruction. Therefore, please tell me decisively which would be most beneficial for me. So he concludes his question that his instructions are confusing him. He's telling him to do this, he's telling him to do that. So which one should he actually do? I should tell him decisively which one to do. Tell me one thing. Purport. In the previous chapter, as a prelude to the Bhagavad Gita, many different parts were explained, such as Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruitive desire, and the position of the neophyte. This was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the parts would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness, either by inertia or by active service. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna is acting as a confused person in this way so that Krishna can clarify things for us. Don't forget, Arjuna is a liberated soul but it's being put into illusion so that Krishna can speak the Gita for our sake. So it's a kind of universal drama. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada stated that Arjuna thought of Krishna consciousness or Buddhi yoga in spiritual advancement of knowledge as something like retirement from active life and the practice of penance and austerity at a secluded place. In other words, he wanted to skillfully avoid fighting by using Krishna consciousness as an excuse. But as a matter of sincere student, he placed the matter before his spiritual master, Krishna. In answer, Lord Krishna elaborately explained Kama Yoga or walk in Krishna consciousness in the third chapter. That's why this third chapter is entitled Kama Yoga. So things will be clinically explained, systematically explained with boundaries. Okay? With boundaries. And we're going to see that. Okay. Now verse 3. Somebody should read, please. If we follow this attitude of the students, we just do everything and rush it and just pass. Do that. There are so many ways to react to physicality. So many ways. But we are just trying to be big-minded in carrying them along. That's why we are calm. Otherwise, this is a very poor attitude of students. We're doing our classes on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. But the same students complain. This same attitude, poor attendance. And we met them and they agreed that we should shift the question, the timing to evening. We have shifted it to evening. Yeah. So you come today, you don't come tomorrow. You come today, you don't come tomorrow. If in the end you receive some reaction, will you blame anybody? Okay. I'm taking note of everybody and every attitude being presented. It is for your own personal purification, for your own clearer understanding about Krishna consciousness. That if you know what you are doing very well, you can do it better. If you are acting on a particular platform, you know that is your own platform. But the whole thing is bigger. And when Krishna is reciprocating, it will reciprocate according to your platform, according to your level. And when he's doing that, don't be envious. Because we reciprocate to somebody on a very high level, whereas he reciprocate to you on your own level. And you will want him to reciprocate on the same level with everyone else, whereas your consciousness is not on the same level. So is that not cheating? Oh, so that is it. Some people see Krishna as a very dangerous man. When he appeared, for instance, in the arena of Kamsa saw him as death personified. Then the cowherd boys saw him as their best friend, well-dressed friend, has appeared. That is how they saw him. The gopis saw him as most lovely boyfriend has appeared. And the other demons, they saw him as a very dangerous fighter, very dangerous person. And the parents saw him as their lovely child, very lovely child. The yogis, they saw him as a super soul. So some people see God as the all-powerful. Some other people see him as the provider of their desires or their needs. Others see him as very, very, very lovely person. Different people see him differently. That is based on their level of consciousness. So, if our consciousness is down, we cannot expect equal reciprocation, even from the Lord. So we should be careful. Somebody should read verse 3, please.
In the second chapter, verse 39.
Read this local verse. In the third chapter. You don't even know where we are. You are in class, so you don't even know where we are. Only God, Jehovah. We will remove that the aspect of God from your name. And even this Jehovah, we will remove it from your name. Because God is all conscious. We reduce your name.
Why I rush to pop up with it? That slogan, I never said that way.
Okay, we read the slogan for you now.
Okay.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Lokesmin Vividanista Pura Prokta Mayanaga Gyana Yogina Sankyanam Karma Yogina Yoginam. You read the purport in the translation and purpose.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation, and the others by devotional service. Purport. In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord explained two kinds of procedures, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga, or Buddhi Yoga. In this verse, the Lord explained the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is the subject matter for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as it is explained in the 61st verse of the second chapter. The Lord has explained so in the 39th verse that by working by the principle of Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bonds of actions, and furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. The same principle is more clearly explained in the 61st verse, that this Buddhi Yoga is to depend entirely on the supreme, or more specifically on Krishna. And in this way, all the senses can be brought under control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are interdependent as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment, or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculations. The ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute come in truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the super self. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness. And the other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the part of Krishna consciousness is better because it does not depend on purifying the senses by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the super self. That means the real relationship between the individual soul and the supreme soul. Okay. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness. And the other process is directly connecting everything with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better because it does not depend on purifying the senses by a philosophical process. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process. And by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. Is that not true? The process of Krishna consciousness we are doing, as even packaged by Srila Prabhupada, it is so sublime that you don't even know that you are doing yoga. You don't even know that you are doing yoga because everything is so melodiously presented. The packaging is nice. You don't know that you are doing yoga, but you are doing the highest yoga. This is the Prabhupada's packaging. You can see it. So Krishna consciousness process is both sublime and also very, very easy. So this is the point. But the main point starts from the fact that Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are two different steps on the same ladder. They are not different. They are both yoga, but one ladder is lower, one is on the lower stage of the ladder, and the other one is higher. No, that is just the process. Karma and Gyan. No, there are two processes. And the karma is compared to religion, and Gyan is compared to philosophy. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that let there be a mixture of karma and Gyan. Philosophically, understand your real identity as a spirit soul and your relationship with Krishna as that of service. Then do your duty, which is religion. Religion here means your dharma, your prescribed duty according to your varna and ashram. That is religion. So religion without philosophy is mental speculation. No, religion without philosophy is sentimentalism, but philosophy without religion is mental speculation. If you are just a jnani trying to analytically understand yourself as different from the body, you end up going to the forest and sitting down and meditating and trying to realize yourself. And be thinking you try to, by your intellectual power, trying to understand God. Eventually, you will understand because analytically, you have to separate matter from spirit until you. It takes a very long process, and it's very cumbersome, and it is full of distraction. Because the modern age, there are no peaceful places to do that kind of meditation. You see, so it is very, very troublesome. Okay, as opposed to the process of Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, your activities are done, and at the same time, they are mixed with knowledge. Knowledge plus activity, prescribed duties, prescribed duty plus knowledge. You are doing it. That is real Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. So you are doing it. It's very, very easy, but at the same time, you will get the result very fast. So especially the platform of Krishna consciousness is just like you are trying to go to the 10th story in a building and you take an elevator. By the guidance of the guru and the scripture, you just enter the elevator and you find yourself in the 10th floor. But the Jnani process is to go step by step, climbing the step until from floor to floor until you get to the 10th floor. But the 10th floor, you will get there. But it takes a long time, a lot of austerity, and that kind of practice is not recommended for this age. This age, people are not peaceful enough to practice such. So it becomes very, very cumbersome, very difficult. You see? So engage yourself in Krishna consciousness. Religiosity plus knowledge of your real identity, then you act. And that your action should be with detachment, because detachment from what? Detachment from the fruit. Okay? You are attached to your duty, but you are not attached to the fruit. That is how you should work. You are attached to your duty as a matter of kshatriya or whatever. You are doing your duty, but you are not attached to religion. You are doing your duty as a matter of duty. You see? You are doing your duty as a matter of duty. You are not attached to the result. So act in this way. This is Krishna consciousness. And when meditation is added into it, when devotion is added into it, it becomes high level of Krishna consciousness. You'll be always in trance, always acting in Krishna consciousness, even without separately thinking of it. This is the packaging we have. Okay? So knowledge plus Gyan, Karma Yoga plus Jnana Yoga, religion plus philosophy. The religion should be backed up with philosophy. Because if it is religion without philosophy, it's just sentimentalism. My God is greater than your God. My God is the God of this. Your God is no God. You begin to sing songs on the platform of my God is greater than all other gods. Whoever sings shall bow, and every other God is inferior. What is in me is greater than that which is in you. This kind of sentimental stuff. But if there is a sound philosophical understanding that you are a soul, you are not this body, and the soul's eternal duty is to engage in the service of the whole, and this is presented in systematic programs, then it's very sweet. So this is where we should come to religion plus philosophy, because religion without philosophy is mere sentimentalism, and philosophy without religion is just dry mental speculation, which is very cumbersome. Because it's also like thesis plus antithesis. Thesis is religion. These religious principle codes that are moral codes that are given according to Vanashram, moral codes within Vanashram, that is called religion. Okay? It's thesis. Then philosophically, the Gyanis, they try to negate everything they see. I conquer this, I conquer this, I conquer this. This is what these people say. This is how it should be. They have their own opinion on everything until it takes a long time before they can analytically come to understand themselves as souls. Whereas what they are looking for through philosophical speculation, a Bhakta already knows right from day one. You are not this body, you are a spirit soul. And by the mercy of the Guru, is already watering the root straight. While the Jnani is still looking for the root, the Bhakta is already watering the root. It's in the end, watering the root. Because he has taken an elevator by direction of the Guru and the devotees and the scriptures. It's already there. He knows the end from the beginning, and he's already doing the ultimate activity. Whereas a Jnani takes many, many lifetimes. And he said in the Gita also, Baunam Jamanam Hante, Kianavam Mam Prapadyante. After many, many births and deaths or speculations and Gyani activity before you come to understand that Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And one who comes to that platform says, Sam Adma Sudulaba. They are very, very rare. Before you see a Gyani arrive there after many, many lifetimes. Whereas right from day one, the Bhakta is already in the ultimate end of the race and is watering the root. You take an elevator, and that is the direction of the Guru and the scriptures. It follows it. and it's just in the end. Whereas a Diani is depending on his intelligence, doing neti. If it is not this, it must be this. If it is not that, it must be that. Climbing step, just step by step until you get to the 10th floor. Whereas Bhakti is already there watering the root. This is the good fortune of all those who are in devotional service. We have good fortune. We have the mercy of the Guru Param. We have the mercy of the Super Soul, the Lord in the heart, who has manifested as the Guru, who has manifested as the Scripture, who has manifested as the Holy Name, who has manifested as the 9 processes of Bhakti, who has manifested as the Guru also, who has manifested as Prashada. Very, very merciful process that we are into. So that is the difference. That is the difference. So Krishna will now explain the premature renunciation, because Arjuna wanted to renounce prematurely. Arjuna wanted to give up his duty, his religiosity. He wanted to renounce prematurely. And Krishna says, no, Arjuna, premature renunciation of work accepted before one is sufficiently purified and detached, that will bring neither purification nor liberation. If you give up your duty, you will not be purified, because it is your prescribed duty done with detachment that will attract purification. If you are giving up the process of purification and you are renouncing, you will not be liberated. You will not be liberated. Therefore, don't go to the forest. Do your prescribed duty. This is what I'm going to tell you now. Then the next verse, verse 4. Na karmanam anarambam, naiskamiam purusho asnute, na shasaniya sanad eva, siddhin samadhiga shati. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Can somebody volunteer to read the purport?
Purpose. The next order of life be accepted when one has Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Go on.
Go on. Your voice is cracking, but try again.
The renounced order of life can be accepted when one has been purified by the discharge of the prescribed form of duties, which are laid down just purify the hearts of materialistic men. Without purification, one cannot attain success by quickly adopting the first order of life, sannyasa. According to the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyas or retiring from creative activities, one at once becomes as good as Narayan. But Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyas is simply a disturbance to the social order. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the cause is accepted by the Lord. Buddhi Yoga. So apam api asya dhamasya rayate mahato bharat. Even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulties. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the course is accepted by the Lord. Swapama Pia Sia Daru Sia Triatema Atubaya. That even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulty. So you can see that renunciation must be done at the right time. First, you have to get purified by doing your prescribed duties. You get that purification by doing your prescribed duties religiously. Then purification takes place. So the Varnashram system is a safety net, is an arrangement by the Lord to purify the individuals while they are doing their duties in their ashrams. So that's why there are rules and regulations for each ashram. So if you are in any ashram and you are following the rules and regulations, your gradual purification is guaranteed. And when you are purified, then your activities now attract realized knowledge. Purified activities will attract realized knowledge. Then, of course, you can later renounce. That's why the process is for you to become a brahmachari. When you are well practiced in the activities and rules and regulations of the brahmacharis, you are qualified to become a grihastha. When you perform the activities of a grihastha perfectly well, following all the rules and regulations, you can eventually become a vanaprastha. Then, when your vanaprastha activities are well done, then in the end, you become a sannyas. But if you want to renounce your duties, prescribed duties, without following the rules and regulations for purification, then you say your renunciation is false renunciation. And that's why there are many renunciants in India. Many of such renunciants in India. They take to the process of renunciation just to feed their stomach. Because people give charity to to renunciants. So they renounce and wear the dress and go and post, go and act as a renunciant. Then people will give them money. In the end, they go to restaurants, go and buy what everybody else is buying. They sit down, they eat to their full satisfaction. The business of the day is successful. Tomorrow they are on the street again. Next tomorrow they are on the street again. It's a stomach feeding kind of renunciation. There are plenty there. And to the extent, some of them, when they go, the householders, they accept them because that is the religious principle. You have to accept a holy man and serve him. So when he's dressing in saffron clothes, the thing that is a holy man, he goes there, they give him some good, and he becomes happy. They give him small food or some money, small money to buy food. Then he becomes happy. They start asking them, so how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. This season everybody is going on holidays. Are you also going on holidays to some places of pilgrimage? Oh, yes, I'm going. I'm going just next tomorrow. By the time you come back, that same person he has asked you questions. He knows when you are going on pilgrimage. You will not be in the house. He will arrange with tips to come and break your house and collect all your things. They are doing like that in India. And because of that, when they see devotees come, they think that devotees are also, Vaishnavas are also like that. Once they see saffron, they knock the door. In those days, once you knock the door, somebody will peep from the window. Then we close his curtains and lock the door and put key. That means he's not there. He doesn't want to interact with you. Then you ask why? What are they doing like that? Then the local devotees will explain to you that look at what is happening. This is why they are doing like that. So in this way, in India, many charlatan meditators Many charlatan meditators with ulterior motives are wearing saffron, and they just go to the market and they buy a thread and they put the thread on as a Brahman without following any rules and regulations. And this is going on. And in this way, they are making it difficult for people to identify those who are true devotees of the Lord and those who are doing that as a business, renunciation business. People doing renunciation business, they mix people up. They become more confused. They don't know who is who. So this is going on. So purification or renunciation without purification leads to degradation. Say it again. Renunciation without purification leads to degradation. So first you have to be purified, then you can renounce. So Srila Prabhupada's purpose states, the renounced order of life can be accepted when one has been purified by the discharge or the prescribed duty. Yes, which are laid down just to purify the hearts of materialistic men. So all these rules and regulations, and they are called, they are the prescribed duties according to the Vanas and Ashram. And the Lord of rules and regulations, they call Maryada Purushottama. Maryada Purushottama. You know who is Maryada Purushottama does? Do you know Maryada Purushottama? Maryada Purushottama is Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra is called Maryada Purushottama. Maryada means rules and regulations. Lord Ramachandra is the Lord of rules and regulations. He's going to set examples on how to follow rules and regulations according to the Vana Ashram. That's why when his father banished him to the forest, because of it, he's so strict about all those rules and regulations that he has to follow, go to the forest and show him by example. He's called Maryada Purushottama. He's the Lord of rules and regulations. Then Krishna is called Lila Purushottama, full of pastimes. He performed this pastime, performed this pastime, he performed this pastime, performed this pastime, performed. All the devotees in different categories, he will perform the pastimes in their midst. He is called Lila Purushottama. Maryada Purushottama, Lila Purushottama. Then Lord Chaitanya is called Prema Purushottama. Pure love of God. He exhibited pure love of God. How to enter into pure love by some personal example. It's called Prema Purushottama. So you are Purushottama Das. I think you are Purushottama Das. You are a Das to all of them. Both Maryada Purushottama, Lila Purushottama, and Prema Purushottama. So take the Sankirtan very seriously. Then you join Lord Chaitanya and Prema Purushottama alternate. Maryada Purushottama. And there is a particular offense in this conduct has a name also. It is called Maryada Vyatikrama. It's an offense. It's called Maryada Vyatikrama. Impertinently deriding elders. Impertinently deriding elders. It's a big offense. In big temples like India, for instance, when they are bringing ghee out, you can see the people who rush. Some people who rush as if it is not going to reach them. In the process, they can quack you and some will step on your foot unknowingly. They'll be scrambling for it. So they commit offense. When you are taking prashadam, your elders are sitting side by side you. Your attitude in the prashadam lobby Sometimes you are talking. Sometimes when you finish eating, you get up while your elders are still sitting down. So many of them. Or you are speaking, somebody come and ask question. Your elder is there. You start speaking. Supposed to give chance to the elder to speak first. If he has to say, oh, my senior is there, let him speak. If you say, okay, you speak, you tell him, then you do. But you pick it up and you start explaining. It's Mariada Viatikrama. So, Mariada, I want you to remember the name Mariada, the word Mariada. Mariada means rules and regulations. Processes and the rules and regulations in the financial system are meant for the purification of the individual. So if you abandon those rules and regulations in your ashram and you want to renounce the forest, it's called premature renunciation. In India, we say again, there are many people, who are wearing saffron clothes, ulterior motive. And their renunciation is called Falgu renunciation. Falgu renunciation. There is a river called Falgu River. The top there is sand, but inside is water. River Falgu. You think there is sand, you go and put your leg there. All you under is water. It will just carry you and start sinking inside. So whenever they get the opportunity for self gratification, they will gratify the senses. Externally, they are renounced, but internally, they are full of material desire. And they are pretending. They are pretending. Using renunciation as a business. Wow. Okay. So, on the other hand,
I don't know what the name you call that. You said that there's a river in India, up is sand, down is what you call the name?
River Falgu.
Falgu.
Falgu. P-H-A-L-G-U.
P-H-A-L-G-U.
Yes, that renunciation is Falgu renunciation. Falgu renunciation is renunciation. Externally, you are renounced. You wear the cloth as a renunciant, but all your inside is full of material desires. It's Falgu renunciation. And in India, there are many. India, we are saying India because there are many there. Even to the extent that some of them, they go to holy places, they present as very holy people. They're wearing the clothes. Then women are very sentimental. There are some women who like if you give birth to a child with a holy man, the child will be very powerful. So those kind of women we don't desire. They will also go there to holy places trying to fall powerful people. Then those fake sannyasis, they are there. They will fall with them.
It's really funny.
They will fall with them and their parents will just tangle their legs and they will be rolling on the ground with them. The thing where they want, what they are looking for, the people where monkey don't catch monkey. So if you go there, you have to be smart also. And the holy dam, they will tell you, nah, we have dam buses. But they want to collect money from you by all means. And it's a business, yes, they are doing. That's why you have to do everything under the guidance of the senior devotees. When you go there, you're visiting holy places, you have to go with devotees. You have to go in the association of devotees. You want to visit holy places in India, don't go alone. Go in the association of devotees. Sometimes it's only Bhakti Damodara Maharaj He used to go with a lot of devotees to different holy places. And when they get there, Maharaj will explain the pastime of the Lord there to them. And then they will go. They like his explanations. He knows a lot of things. And himself and some other senior devotees there, they will go together. Most of the time he speak, then that senior devotee will add also. So in this way, they are going in groups. That is one of the things they do, visiting. Sometimes some people will come from one temple specifically to come and meet him so that they will go to holy places. Then he will take them on the tour of the holy places. He'll be explaining to them like this. So anytime you want to go, you go with devotees. There's also a program called Safari. And most of the time we go to South India. It was organized by Suriname Jayapataka Maharaj. So Suriname BDD Maharaj is always going with them also. So about 3 or 4 sannyasis will be there. Maharaj is among them. We go to holy places, so many holy places. The prayer place of Lord Nisingadev. It's called Ahobilam. We've been there. I was there. Maharaj was among those who led the team. We went to Ahobilam in South India. We ended up in Jagannapuri. And in Jagannapuri, we had to go and see the richest deity in the world. You know him? The richest deity in the world, do you know him?
Balaji. Balaji. Balaji.
Balaji.
Balabhadra. Balaji.
No Balabhadra dance. No Balabhadra dance. Balabhadra only visited in his mind. In his mind only. Go and see Balaji there. You have to go with devotees. See, in that program, about 300 to 400 devotees are traveling together, visiting all the holy places. All the holy 300-400 devotees together. Anywhere we get, we camp. So you have to pay some money before you join the team because they will make accommodation arrangement and feeding arrangement and transportation arrangement inside what you pay. So it's a very beautiful program. And you will get to know, even we went to Mushikunda's cave. The cave Mushikunda, I went to sleep after fighting with them because the cave is slept there. We went there, enter inside the cave, go bath inside the water, enter inside the water. First, carry some stones there as mystic paraphernalia. Okay. So that is that. So what Srila Prabhupada was saying is that what he was saying is that I was reading somewhere. Okay. I was reading somewhere before. Okay, yes, yeah. You say without purification of heart, sannyasa is simply a disturbance to the social order. So that's what it meant. First, you have to have a purified heart before you take sannyas. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever it may be, he may be able to advance in the course if he accepts Buddha Yoga. Yes, that's why it's even a slight performance of social activities like these devotional activities we are doing now under the guidance of the spiritual man. That is how glorious devotional service is. Any little service you do here, it cannot be taken away. It's more than all the purificatory activities that Mariada devotee will do. So devotional service is very glorious, and the result you obtain here is permanent. Any result you get, it will take you in your next life. You will continue from there. You don't lose it at that. So from test 4 to test 9, Krishna described the active nature of the soul. Inactivity is not an option. One's activities must be therefore directed towards self-purification and self-realization. We must do activities directed towards self-purification and self-realization. Yes, it is compulsory we do activities. Why? Because the soul is by nature active. You cannot keep the soul inactive. While giving up lower engagements, we must be absorbed in higher engagements. This is engagements or activities that are directed towards self-purification and self-realization. This is where we are expected to be. Okay? And that is the purpose of performing prescribed duties. People do prescribed duties for the sake of self-purification and ultimately self-realization. So do your duty without attachment to the results, and you'll be purified, and ultimately you will realize yourself. This is the process of Krishna. Krishna is telling Arjuna to do this. Don't renounce. Don't renounce the activities that will purify you, Arjuna. Do your duty and get purified and become self-realized. You want to be a yogi, go to the forest. You want to abandon responsibility. You think you are smart. I know you. You are still afraid of fighting. You want to run away from the battlefield. Okay, now run away. Let me see you. You have accepted me as a guru, isn't it? A guru is telling you something and you disobey the order of the guru. You know the implication? I'm your guru and I'm telling you now, you have to fight as a matter of duty. Do your duty and give me the results. Don't be attached to it. Just do your duty and renounce it. Don't be attached to the results. Offer it as an offering unto me. Then I will take care of the rest. So you do karma yoga, I give you the yoga, I take the karma. Any sinful reaction you incur, any offense you commit in the process, I absorb it and I will give you the yoga. In all circumstances, fight. Doing your duty is better than renouncing without purification. Okay. Therefore, in the next verses, up to verse 9, Krishna will explain the active nature of the soul, why the soul should be always engaged, and why we do not practice artificial renunciation. Verse 5, somebody should read now. Nahi kashik sanam api jatuti stati akama krit karyate avasa karma Sarva Prakriti Jai Guna. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Please, somebody should read the purport. If you are refusing to read, we will stop very quick. I will just stop anytime I like. If you are refusing to read. So read, please.
Hare Krishna.
It is
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
It is not a question of. Can I go on?
Read,
It is
That Bible should read.
not a question of embodiment.
Bala, read now.
It is not a question of embodied life, but it is the nature of the soul to be always active. Without the internals of the spirit soul, the material body cannot move. The body is only a dead vehicle to be walked by the spirit soul, which is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be engaged in occupational dictated by the illusory energy. In contact with material energy, the spirit soul acquires material mode, and to purify the soul from such affinities, it is necessary to engage in the prescribed duty. And joined in the satra. But the soul is engaged in its natural function of Krishna consciousness. Whatever he is able to do is good for him. The Srimad Bhagavatam 1:5-17 affirm this. Taksyava swadamam chanama bujam are bajam apyavo tat pasata jadi yatra kafabdram Buddha amusakim kuvita apto banjatam eva dhamataha. If someone take to Krishna consciousness, even though he may not follow the prescribed duty in the sastra or execute the devotional service properly, and even though he may fall down from the certain standard, there is no loss or evil for him. But if he carry out all the injunction for purification in the sastra, what does it avail him if he is not Krishna conscious? So the purificatory process is necessary for the reaching this point of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, science or any purificatory process is to help reach the ultimate goal of becoming Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious, without which everything is considered a failure. Hare Krishna.
Failure. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Therefore, sannyasi or any purification process is to help reach the ultimate goal of becoming Krishna conscious, without which everything is considered a failure. So the ultimate goal of every activity is to bring one to the point of Krishna consciousness. So since the soul cannot remain inactive, it must be engaged in activities. So if the soul is properly directed by the guidance of spiritual authorities, it can engage in, devotional activities that will purify him. Or if he is not lucky enough to be part of such a relationship, then he will engage in activities that will bind him, because he will act in ignorance and he will attract reaction. So lucky are those souls who have the opportunity to engage in devotional activities for purification, because that is a necessity. As La Prabhupada explained the purport, it is not a question of embodied life, but it is the nature of the soul to be always active. The soul by nature is always active. And if it is not engaged actively in positive activities, material nature, the three modes of material nature will employ it. So without the presence of the spirit soul, the material body cannot move. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be engaged in the occupation dictated by the illusory energy. So in chapter 2, Krishna told Arjuna, Karmani evadi karaste Dikataraste, that your eligibility, your adhikara on the yoga ladder is not renunciation of work. Yes, but action. But action. Because the soul must act, the Vedas prescribe duties to purify the living entities, so that by acting according to your nature, you will get gradually purified. Thus, by acting according to Sastra, in a detached mood, in knowledge of the difference between the self, the eternal self, and the material body, one becomes elevated to the Jnana platform. Only then does one have the option to give up prescribed duties. Unless you have purified, unless you have full knowledge of your relationship with the Lord, and you are engaging in activities, devotional activities on the platform of the soul, as we are doing, as in the 9 processes of Bhakti. It is when you are doing that and you get fully purified that you can renounce, take sannyasi, because you have already learned the art and science of acting for the pleasure of the Lord. So your renunciation becomes meaningful. But if you are not purified and you are eager for renunciation, you will suffer like anything. You can see in our movement, you see some devotees, they leave. They go and join some other groups where they cheaply got sannyasis. They wanted sannyasis in our movement. They couldn't wait. They couldn't, keep on the process of purification until they become recognized. They run to other processes that are also looking for sannyasis. And they give them sannyas. After giving them sannyas, they become like ghosts. There they cannot function properly. In this country, they cannot function properly also. You see? So they become like ghosts. They are not there, they are not here. And there is not strict, the structure is not strong enough to really check them. And they come to our side, they are not strong enough to remain fixed. Because our system, you have ostracized, you have dislocated yourself from the proper structure. So what are you coming to do there? Everybody will be suspicious of you. You cannot be fully happy. That is it. So first, do your prescribed duties, get purified, then you renounce. Understand? Do your prescribed duties, get purified, then you renounce. But if you want to renounce prematurely, in one purport here, Srila Prabhupada glorified a Grihastha that is following his prescribed duty over a sannyasi that renounced prematurely. Yes, it's very important that we get purified first by doing our duties. Then the next stage will unfold naturally and not otherwise. Okay. Okay, so Krishna told Arjuna, it's not your eligibility. You are not eligible for this kind of renunciation. You are a Kshatriya. Do your prescribed duty. The whole of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna, I don't agree with you. Do your duty. Don't set bad example. Do your duty as a Kshatriya. Fight. Cultivate knowledge. Have knowledge about your relationship with me, about your relationship with the Supreme. Then fight with detachment. Do your duty. Don't be attached to the result. But fight you must. Do your duty. Don't give bad example. They will refer to you that Arjuna renounced his work. I will also renounce. Everybody will start practicing responsibility because of you. Is that what you want, Arjuna? Arjuna was there, looking at Krishna, open his mouth, looking at Krishna. Krishna was giving him enough philosophical slaps. Let him come to his senses. So, first, do your duty, get purified. If such a person renounces prescribed duties and accepts sannyasi, though his heart is still not purified, he will find himself in difficulty. Krishna next describes such an unfortunate renunciation. Krishna then describes such an unfortunate renunciation in the next verse. Verse 6. Kamendriyani samyamya ya aste manasat smaran indriya urtavi mudatma mitya charaya sa uchyate mitya shara. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. I take it again. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Purport. There are many pretenders who refuse to walk in Krishna consciousness, but make a show of meditation, while actually dwelling within the mind upon sense enjoyments. That is for good renunciation. Such pretenders may also speak on dry philosophy in order to bluff sophisticated followers. But according to this verse, these are the greatest cheaters. For sense enjoyment, one can act in any capacity of the social order. But if one follows the rules and regulations of his particular status, he can make gradual progress in purifying his existence. But he who makes a show of being a yogi while actually searching for the object of sense enjoyment or gratification must be called the greatest cheater, even though he sometimes speaks of philosophy. His knowledge has are taken away by the illusory energy of the Lord. His mind is always impure, and therefore his show of yogic meditation has no value whatsoever. The Prabhupada is strong about it. It is condemned. Renunciation without purification is condemned. And there are so many pretenders. Externally, they appear to be renounced, but in their minds, it's a business they are doing. It is called church business. Church business. And they are there, they talk fanatically just to harvest the money from the people. Promise them what they want to hear, tell them what they want to hear, but for them, they are not following any rules and regulations. It's business. So these are called cheaters, pretenders. They say one who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself, and is called a pretender. This is the example of the Falgu renunciation. The top there is sand, but under is water. The sand creates the illusion that is actually very renounced. There is a nice place. When you put your leg under is water. It's full of sense gratification desires. So he's just pretending. He wears the cloth of and he used it to do so many things. And that is going to bring obstacle to the real people who are doing the thing. Those who are truly renounced. The action of the pretender brings obstacle because wear that clothes, that's how they are. They are all pretenders. Not knowing that it is just some people who are pretending that real people are actually there. Whatever there is fake, there is the original also. So the fake will only make people not to identify the original. See, but the original is there. So if you are practice very well, by their fruits we shall know them. So Krishna doesn't want Arjuna to become a pretender, one who has renounced but is not purified yet. He has not done he practically abandoned his prescribed duties to go and sit down as a meditator. In the next verse, Krishna will talk about them more and Srila Prabhupada will explain deeper as to how much such people are cheaters. Okay, so Krishna tells Arjuna that if work is renounced without adhikara, or the qualification or requisite purity of heart, his mind will dwell on sense objects. He appears to have renounced, but all his meditations are full of desires. He's only pretending. His renunciation is external. His heart is not pure. He will delude himself, thinking, I am renunciant. And the Sanskrit words for false actor is mithya chara. Mithya means false, and achara means activities. Krishna is saying, your activities will not match your renounced dress, and you will be a pretender. Such a person is not qualified to receive the Lord's mercy. Not only Arjuna, but all of us should act according to our eligibility. As Arjuna learned of his eligibility from the spiritual master, we should similarly understand our own eligibility from our spiritual masters. Okay? Nonetheless, compares an attached sannyasi and a detached householder. It is a very serious issue. We ourselves here who are reading about this, we should ask our guru for eligibility. What are we qualified to do? In what way should we act under your direction? And the guru look at you and he sees your material desires are still there. He will not give you sannyasi just like that. Even when a guru want to give some people sannyasi, some gurus become politically minded. They want to give some sannyasi to some of their disciples, just to equalize with other gurus. Krishna will arrange that it doesn't happen. Just as it's about to happen, they hear that the disciple has changed to white. He was pretending to be a powerful brahmachari, but he knows himself. And the guru took him for his pretension. He wanted to recommend him for sannyasi. Suddenly, he will just change. Then we hear the news. So person has changed to white. You are disappointed. The guru just want to be honest. Say, Guru Dev, I've been pretending and you are taking me for. I'm not ready for that now. So please don't let me just disappoint you in a big way. Let me do it. Let me change my clothes. Actually, I'm not ready for sannyas now. I want to be a proper householder first. So in this way, it's good. They are sincere. At least they are sincere. They let their guru know that they cannot do that now. But those who are not sincere will go ahead to take sannyas and start using the cloth to make business. Sannyasis are supposed not to have personal properties, but they take sannyas in order to make money, because anywhere sannyasi goes, people respect him. And after he preach, they will come out of our base and bow down and give him envelope also. So they want the envelope, but they don't want the austerity that will qualify them for the sannyasi. So they behave like that. So we have to be very, very careful. So all of us here, not only Arjuna, but you and me, we have to follow the process that will purify us first. Then when we become eligible, then we can go to the next level. So our eligibility must be confirmed by our spiritual master. That's why anything you are doing in Krishna consciousness, first you have to submit it to your guru. If your guru is not, your Diksha guru is not there, submit it to your Siksha guru. Any major decision you want to take, let them validate your decision. That they look at it and they say, yes, this is okay for you. When they put the approval, it becomes spiritual. But if there is no approval from your guru and you just think and you go ahead to do, you will face the reaction. Guru is not involved. Validation is not there. You see? Any major decision you want to take as a disciple, first of all, validate from the Guru. Submit it to your spiritual master. Say, Gurudev, I want to do this. Any major decision you want to take, Gurudev, I want to do this. Is it okay for me? This is why I want to do. Because you said, don't do it now. In those days, when His Holiness Bhattacharya Maharaj started this movement, he was a musician, powerful musician. And he was thinking of promoting Krishna consciousness through music. But Gurudev had a different plan for him, so that he was going to become a sannyas, he should become a sannyas and he can do better. So he told him not to do the music. Right from the onset, he gave him heavy instruction. Don't do the music. And he stopped. He obeyed. And today he's a guru. And he's traveling all over the world, more famous than any musician. You see, and it's in the eternal journey. Because if you become a popular musician, so many kinds of distractions will come your way. And your devotional service will be at risk. It will be jeopardized. So you have to submit your major desires to your guru. Let your guru validate first. Understand? Let your guru validate. Say, look at it and say, okay, this is good for you. He approves it. That's the validation. When he approves it, then the thing turns to spiritual. Then the Shakti of the guru will follow. Then the Shakti of the Parampara will follow, and it will manifest nicely. Even if there is danger, the danger will just be dispelled by the touch of the sadhu and the guru. Very, very important. To act independently, whimsically, is very, very dangerous for a devotee. Okay? This point should be understood. That's why even among devotees, you should have some Siksha gurus, those who are still you see as superior to you, those who are more situated in self-control, those who are able to respond to challenges with calmness, those who are able to see the hand of the Lord in every situation, those who have affinity for the programs set forth by Srila Prabhupada, those who have attachment for waking up early to do japa, those who have attachment for the early morning programs, those who have attachment for hearing Bhagavatam classes, those who have developed proper service attitude. You should identify some of them and always take shelter of them. Because with them giving you shelter, with the Guru giving you shelter, with Srila Prabhupada giving you shelter, you are properly sheltered. And you will experience what it means by a shelter. You will experience what is meant by shelter. Otherwise, if you are without spiritual shelter, if you have no spiritual shelter, no experiences in spiritual shelter, you'll be secretly doing some other things that you're supposed not to do. Then you will not have the spiritual strength to implement even what you know. You will not attract the grace of the Lord. It is the grace of the Lord that makes every seemingly impossible thing become possible. You can get the grace of the Lord when you are properly sheltered by Srila Prabhupada, sheltered by your guru, sheltered by your Siksha gurus. Because these three types of gurus, they work in harmony. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya and preeminent guru for everyone in ISKCON. Then your guru, who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada or is a grand disciple of Srila Prabhupada, is in harmony, working in harmony with Srila Prabhupada. There are other God brothers who are in good standing as per quality standards. You take shelter of them. With these three shelters, you will experience what is called spiritual shelter. And whatever you want to do, first you must validate, then you navigate with them as your guide. Then your success is guaranteed. Otherwise, no. You do something whimsically, you get reaction for it. The Guru's hand is not there. Srila Prabhupada's hand is not there. It is you and your action. You will face the reaction of your action directly. So please let us take shelter of this reliable shelter that is given to us. When we are driven by desire for shelter, the shelter is already there. And then we take proper shelter by following instruction. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. So let us read the next verse. We will see the danger of a pretender and how Srila Prabhupada even glorified a following householder against a charlatan meditator or a pretending sannyasi. Verse 7. I am reading, enjoying all the Sanskrit. Yastu Indriyani Manasa Niyamiya Rabate Arjuna Karmendriyai Karma Yogam Ashakta Savisisyate. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Purport. Instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from material bondage and enter into the kingdom of God. In order to become, kingdom of God, The prime swatagati, or goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. The whole institution of Varna and Ashram is designed to develop, or is designed to help us reach this goal of life. A householder can also reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. I take it again. A householder can also reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. Regulated service in Krishna consciousness. For self-realization, one can live a controlled life as prescribed in the Shastras and continue carrying out his business without attachment, and in that way make progress. A sincere person who follows this method is far better situated than the false pretender who adopts show bottle spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. Now see the conclusion. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than a charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. Ooh. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So Srila Prabhupada has smashed. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. As in India, so much. A sincere sweeper. That means any duty you are doing, even your business, if you have a business you are doing, you don't need to rush to renounce it there. I want to renounce and come and live in the temple. If you are doing that, your duty with knowledge and detachment, plus meditation, plus devotion, it is better you are there doing that duty. To do it with detachment means you are attached to the work, but you are not attached to the fruit of the work. You are attached to the work, but you are detached from the fruit. Even if you are attached to the fruit, it is a matter of degree. How much are you attached to the fruit? In other words, how much percentage are you willing to give to support the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? If you are doing your work, your business, your teaching work, and all that, and every month you give some percentage to supporting Lord Chaitanya's mission, and you yourself, you are engaged in these devotional activities, you are far better than one who prematurely renounces, or who renounces but is a pretender. His mind is how to use this process to get money. He renounce and he takes an years and he move around and he collect money everywhere and go and open secret bank accounts. It's supposed not to have bank account, but when money start pumping in, the temptation comes. He go and open bank account, sometimes through one of his potential disciples. If it's a guru already, he will use one of his disciples to open accounts and be pumping in all the donations there. The donations are supposed to belong as a sannyas, as a renunciant. All donations you collect belong to Srila Prabhupada. So you're supposed not to have a private account. If you're having a private account, that means your faith and conviction in Srila Prabhupada mission is weak. Your surrender is weak. Therefore, you are afraid. You want to arrange for the future. Once you have that kind of thinking, you are not fit to be there. Some level of pretension is already there. And Srila Prabhupada is saying that a sincere householder, a sincere person who follows this method is far better situated than the false pretender who adopts so bottled spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than the charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. When we are taking it to sannyasi level, we are going too far anyway. But it is a temptation on the part of sannyasis. Is this a temptation that all sannyasis are expected to overcome by dint of their focus and sincerity of purpose? If the focus is sharp and the sincerity is strong, whatever comes their way, they know that it's for Srila Prabhupada's mission. So the channel, as they take it, they offer it to Prabhupada. They just put it in the project somewhere. They collect from here, they put it in the project. They collect from here, they put it in the project. They collect from here, they put it in the project. This is how they operate. So the more they do that, the more they become qualified to take more, because the whole thing is managed by the Lord, who is also in the heart and watching, observing everything. Upadrasta anumantacha bhakta bhokta maheswara. Upadrasta anumantacha bhakta bhokta maheswara. Upadrasta anumanta. The Lord is there in the heart as Upadrasta, as a witness and a permitter. Is Upadrasta is Anumanta. Is there as a witness and also as a permitter. In the heart is watching. Don't forget there are 5 factors for every successful action. I think you still remember. The body, the soul, the senses, the endeavor itself, and the super soul. People make a combination of the first 4, but most of the time they fail to subordinate whatever they are doing to the approval and permission of the super soul. That's where they fail. So if you are doing any kululu, some fast movement, you are thinking that the super soul is not there watching you. It's watching you. Be careful. And if you are a big person, the more he watches you. If you are a big person, the more he watches you, to the degree of your bigness, the super soul watches you, take note of it. Any whimsical movement may just track you and chastise you quick. Say, look at this one. You are commissioner of police. You the thief. Commissioner of police, the thief. Yeah? You go rob commissioner of police. The punishment you're supposed to get, it should be the most capital punishment that the greatest criminals will have, because you know the law and you consciously break it. So that is how the Lord works. The Lord is very brutal in the matter of giving reaction to devotees, because he has so much, to whom so much is given, much is expected. And he has so many big work for the devotee to do. So when he put his hand in petty things, that is like, hey, this person, is he crazy? Do you know the person you are working with? I, the Lord, the source of all opulences. I will exchange my opulences with you, including the mystic powers. If you put your hand in these small things, you are getting distracted. You will not get all. Oh, you want to be really powerful, then keep up all these petty desires and small free. Ole. Stop all those small ole. So this is how the Lord works. So this text is very, very beautiful. That a sincere householder is glorified over a pretending sannyasi. We have to be very careful. We should be sincere. The Lord knows. He knows us. He's seeing us. And he relates to us. He reciprocates accordingly. So anyway, I don't want to say too much. Our time is already up. We have only 3 minutes. But it is lamentable that the attitude of students toward this class is becoming deplorable, and is becoming lamentable, regrettable. And since I'm not a pure devotee yet, I will react in some ways. I will react in some ways. Yes. So when I start, don't blame me, oh. Don't blame me, oh. Okay, oh. So we want to thank you. Huh? There are some questions or commentaries on this point so that we can end here. We'll continue with verse 9 because verse 9 is small but big. A lot of things are summarized. And it is the last verse of this particular session, but we keep it for tomorrow so that we can
Last
start
week,
with
okay, I will probably on this education. Last time I asked you to give the stages of all those yogas. I mean, mentioning so many things pertaining to yoga practice. And I asked
okay,
you to
those sorry. I will give this. Which page is this? Is it page? Okay, I will find out. Page 13 also. I will find out. I will forward it to the platform. I will forward it to you individually also. Okay? Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for your patience. Prana Prayer, are you there? Are you there? Or you are creating illusion? Anantajit, are you there? Show your face. Isana Goranga, are you truly there? Show your face. Okay, Prana Prayer.
I'm here. We are busy.
You have been
I'm
here
busy.
too.
Yes,
okay.
He's taking care of Maharaj deities.
Okay.
He's taking care of Maharaj deities.
Are you there? Isana Goranga, are you there? Okay. They appear to be there, but they are not actually there. They appear to be there, but in actuality, they are not there. Okay, somebody managed.
Hare Krishna, I'm here.
Anantaji managed to manifest.
Hare Krishna. Hello. I'm also
Ishana is here, Prabhu. Anantaji too is here.
You managed to be there. Okay, thank you.
Yes, we are here.
His confounder Acharya Sila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Vanchaka Patarbiya Acharya Pasini Vachara Patitanampo.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
What is the meaning of Ishana? Ishana Guranga. Ishana, that's Matthews. They call him.
Masis Goranga.
Matthews Guranga.
Only him can answer. Only him can answer. Me, I don't fit to. Hare Krishna. Even Ananta, only him can
Hare
answer.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What is
So what is the meaning of Isana Goranga?
Prabhu, come again.
What is the meaning of Isana Goranga?
Meaning of Ishana Goranga, the servant of Lord Mahaprabhu, the golden avatar.
Ishana, that's Ishana where they did. Ishana, what is the meaning? Ishana.
Ishana means the controller, the supreme controller.
Okay, Lord Chaitanya, who is the supreme controller?
The supreme controller.
Okay, so that means Lord Chaitanya, who is the supreme controller, you are a servant of him.
Exactly.
Okay, it's only because it's asking because in Yoruba language, Isana means mashes. So it's like mashes Goranga. That's why it's asking. Forgive him,
okay, I see. I see.
Lights, Matthew's lights. Lights.
Yeah, Matthew light.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I beg, please honor the timings. You should honor the timings, attend classes. Okay?
Okay. Today
Anytime
I
you
will
miss
the first 3 members.
Anytime you miss my class, you know you really miss something.
Yeah, exactly.
You disconnected from the sequence. I'm telling you, I know what I'm telling you. Okay.
It's true.
And by the same token, if you start behaving like this, you are going to extend that behavior when gurus start coming also. And it will be a bad record. They will take note of you. Even when Kamishana Maharaj was with us, before he left, he was getting upset. He was getting upset by the attendance, epileptic attendance. We are here today. So it's not good. Somebody is suffering from epilepsy, you should hide it.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Happy Bhishma Panchaka also. Enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Enjoy yourself. Fast until
Hare
don't
Krishna,
fall.
Bhishma Panchaka.
Don't fall somewhere. Jesus Christ fasted for 40 days, so you not fall anywhere.
Yes, and I'm fasting for 5 days. Yes, 5 days.
Don't go and fall. Try to climb that one.
More pressure here.
Okay.
More pressure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Haribo. Continue to fast in Krishna consciousness. Read books while fasting. Study the scripture while fasting. This is our own tapasya for this month, for this Kartik. Study of the scripture. Swadhyaya.
Tapasya, austerity.
So it's okay. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Prabhupada.